Well, I want to thank everyone for coming. This is a really exciting day. So first I want to start with introducing my family. I have my wife, Colleen. My son, Michael. And I do need to point out it's his 16th birthday today. He starts driving. My daughter, Mallory. My mother, Raul Grijalva. My uncle, David Crowe. And my brother, my brother-in-law. So I'm here to announce that I'm running for U.S. Congress, District 3. I'm David Crowe, and this is how we're starting it. I'm going to start this by telling you quickly about who I am, about my family. My parents grew up in Yuma. My dad was a farmer down in Yuma, and he actually went to U.S. Customs. My mother wrote for the Yuma Daily Sun. She wrote a book, Early Yuma, down there. So that is where I was born. I was born in Yuma in 1966. I grew up in Yuma. I grew up in Sierra Vista after that. I graduated from high school in Phoenix, and I graduated at the University of Arizona here in Tucson, computer engineering in the 80s. So I'm from 16 years ago, I started my company. Actually, 16 years ago, my son was born. I quit my job, cut my pay in half, and I started my own company. And my wife put up with me then, and she's putting up with me now. So for that, I think I should always say thank you to her for this. But I started this company with 3 friends. This was on $3,000. It's been hard. I've learned a lot running a business. What I've learned is it's hard to make payroll when you have no money. That was the first startling thing when we had to make payroll. We had nothing in the bank. I've learned that it's hard as a business owner not only when your business is declining, but it's also hard when it's increasing. Either way, you have no money, and lines of credit are always tough to get. These are things that everyone has to deal with, and this is something I've learned. Small business is middle class. We are the heart of this economy. We are what's under attack. We must grow our economy through small business, and this is my background. This is what I believe in. This is what I'm fighting for. So again, to reiterate, I am running for Congress. I'm running for District 3 because I'm running on the idea that we must grow jobs. And I believe we grow jobs through companies like this. I have a lot of friends here. All of them have different backgrounds. A lot of them have businesses. They all take risks. I believe we do that by growing these companies and opportunities like that. The things I have around me, this engine, this is a gas turbine engine. This is something we are investing in TES to bring jobs to this country. We're building a control system. I want to build this engine. We're doing this with U of A autonomous vehicles. These are things that I'm proud of, and this is the type of manufacturing we have to bring back to our country. I think it's possible for our country to bring these jobs back. Everyone says we've lost manufacturing. We have not lost manufacturing. We've just lost the will. We can grow small business. Small business can bring this again, and that's an important point that we have to work on. There's a lot with small business. I want them to do more. I want everyone in here, every business owner in here wants them to do more, but they do a lot. In this district, the current congressman does not support Raytheon. This is 12,000 jobs in Tucson. Our district, this CD3 is a proud district. We have mining, we have aerospace and defense, we have farming, we have education. We, as Democrats, must learn to not only fight for the worker, but we must fight for those businesses. We must help businesses attract new jobs to our industry. So being a Democrat is harder than just fighting for a few things. You must fight for everyone. You must compromise, you must put things together and find solutions so we can all get jobs back in the United States. So, recently there have been a few things written about me. I'm going to bring up a couple. I have some good ones. I'm a Democrat in name only, as I've been called. I'm not going to hear it. I don't like labels, so I'm not going to talk about that specifically, but I will talk about, I think it's reasonable with that to say what I do believe, and then you can label me how you choose. I do believe that right now we are upside down in taxes. When a small business starts out and we have to pay 35% taxes when we have, again, no cash. We have to make payroll. And then you have companies like GE paying no taxes. I don't think that that's correct. I think that we need to help small businesses start, and we need the large corporations to have to start paying their taxes so small businesses continue to start. So I think that that's reversed. I think that we need more American jobs. We have to grow our economy by growing high-paying jobs. So American jobs is key. Healthcare. There's a lot said about healthcare. Healthcare continues to be a fight, and I appreciate that because healthcare was broken 3 years ago. It was broken 10 years ago. Healthcare is not affordable for a small business. It's not affordable for people who have no jobs. It's barely affordable for people that are retired. We need to continue to improve healthcare. I believe we have to have a healthcare solution that supports all of us. This is what I've learned. I remember the first time we had to create healthcare and start paying that, and watch how much it goes up every year, every 2 years. It is very scary as someone that pays for it, of trying to understand how we're going to continue to pay for it. Healthcare has to be fixed. So I do believe in healthcare. Immigration. My dad, after he was a farmer, was U.S. Customs. Immigration is he would always get mad when someone said immigration is about a wall. Immigration is about bringing workers over to support our American industries, our farming industry. Immigration is about border security. He set that border. I do agree with border security. Immigration is about recruiting the best and talented people throughout the world to become American, come here and help grow our economy. So when people say, we don't want to touch immigration until we build a wall, they don't understand immigration. So I believe that we have to do everything. The last thing on why I'm a Democrat would probably be Gabby Giffords. I never followed politicians. She came into here and she fought for my company. She fought for every company. She fought for Raytheon, but she would also fight for me. I never saw that before in a politician. So she was a Democrat and I was a Republican. I switched because of that. I realized that a Democrat can support business. People say Democrats do not support business. I'm here to tell you that the Democrats do support business. They support American jobs, and that's why I'm a Democrat. So that will be the answer to Democrat in name only. That's what I believe in. So I want to end this really quick, and then we'll do Q&A. I want to make sure everyone knows, in case you didn't understand, I am running for U.S. Congress, and as of today, I am not running against Raul Grijalva. Raul Grijalva today is running against me. He's running against every business. He's running against every business out here, every person, every family that wants a better job, every person that's unemployed. Today he runs against us. And that's how we're going to win this district.
Yes. Why didn't you run? You've been a lifetime Republican?
13 months ago I switched, December 2010.
Why didn't you run as a Republican since you pretty much have been a Republican? Why didn't you stay and run the principal with still the same values and stuff you're holding right now? Why did you change parties
Because
for good?
after I met Gabby Giffords, and she fought for small business, I do believe in those social issues. If you listen to the things that I mentioned that I want to fight for, most of those line up on the Democratic side. What's always a miss is the Democrat pro-business. Gabby Giffords is pro-business. I'm pro-business. She's the one that educated me that Democrats are pro-business. We can fight for business because pro-business, pro-American jobs is what we have to do. So I switched. I agree with that fight. That's my fight.
Any other questions?
You said a moment ago that Congressman Grijalva does not support Raytheon. Could you extrapolate on that a little bit? What did you exactly mean by that?
I mean that he doesn't visit Raytheon. He doesn't support any systems for Raytheon. He doesn't help them at all win contracts. He doesn't fight for Raytheon. And I believe in his people's budget, he wants to cut the very industry that they are, and it's targeted to their business. So I think that means he's not fighting for Raytheon.
What is your experience in politics?
My experience has been 1 year trying to understand politics. My experience is actually, I'm not here to deceive you. This is my experience. My experience is a small business, bringing jobs. But here's one reason I want to do this. At some point, I want people in politics to help businesses like me. And I've come to a startling realization, and maybe the rest of you knew this and I didn't, but I've come to a startling realization that people in Washington have never created a job. They don't understand business, and they don't understand what we go through, but yet they create laws that tell us how we're going to grow. So I'm doing this because I believe that other people have to stand up and get involved. I enjoy this. I enjoy engineering. Out there is a solar collector. You need to go look at that. I enjoy new technology just to solve environmental problems. I enjoy creating business. But if I sit here and enjoy that and do that for the rest of my life, are my children going to have the same opportunity that I did? And I think the answer is no. I think we all know that. The opportunities are leaving our country too fast. So other people need to stand up and get involved. If you haven't run for politics, I think all of you should. We need to be involved.
Question?
I've been a lifelong Republican as well, and what really disturbs me is that recently the U.S. House of Representatives under Boehner has seriously cut defense. Their cuts are going to impact the loss of tens of thousands of jobs in Arizona. The Budget Control Act alone has got our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps. And as a retired military officer, I find this offensive. What are you going to do to reverse the cuts in defense that are so greatly impacting negatively on jobs in America and on our military?
Well, I'm standing next to a variant of nature that's for the U.S. Navy. We're doing this also for the Swedish Navy. Defense is a very important part of what I believe in. We have to go back. The Democrats have to stand up and change the myth that they are also against our defense. Democrats need to stand up and fight for our defense, and also fight for the installations here. We have in this district the proving grounds, and it may be out, but it's in the Yuma area where I grew up. There's the Marine base. There is Raytheon. In Tucson, we have David Crowe, and I do a lot of work with Fort Huachuca. We have military. This is a very proud state with military solutions and installations, and we need to fight for the budget.
One more question?
How difficult of a challenge is this going to be to beat an incumbent in a primary? You must have done some research, looking back into the history, how many times it's been done beating an incumbent in a primary. What kind of a challenge or a daunting task do you feel like that's going to be?
I think winning an election is a daunting task, and beating an incumbent is going to be a daunting task. Raul has not been an exceptional congressman as far as I'm concerned. I think Arizona, we need a congressman that says he's going to stand up for workers, people's rights, immigration, small business, military, all of the jobs in this district. So the good part is he doesn't do that. So my message is going to be, I'm going to start representing the entire district, and I'm going to win because this is about jobs. If your name notice the jobs thing, this is about jobs. This district is losing jobs. We will bring jobs to this district. This is for families. Families have to have a future, and this district will improve. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I think we're going to do a few questions later, so thank you. In my industry, I'll tell you, most of the work that I used to do, commercial aerospace, is done in China, in India. One of the biggest barriers is convincing people that small business can compete with China and India, that we can do that here. I'm investing. My partners and I invested $500,000 to do this on our own, to recapture some of this business. So that's in my area. That's what I believe. We have to be able to help small businesses grow. Actually, that dish collector out there that I do with Raytheon, in order for we don't have enough money to do that as fast as we could. So other barriers would be to expand science and technology research grants to help us grow this technology faster, to create new ways to build create energy.
What do you do to get students and young people ready to compete in those kinds of job markets?
Well,
I mean, last I looked,
go ahead.
we don't have much of a school system here.
Well, so let me address that. So there is a very negative thing you said. So let me enhance that, I guess. We're 24th in the world in science and tech for competing in the world in education. So that is very disturbing for someone like me. But then again, this vehicle is actually University of Arizona property. The students come to my facility. We help them. We train them. They work side by side with our engineers. Over there is a little robot that the University of Arizona engineers do. We donate money to that. We help them progress their talents, and it helps us out a lot too. Mm-hmm. So to me, I'm on the industry partner board with U of A, and it's about industries partnering with education schools to grow our capability in science. But we need to do more of it because we're 24th in the world.
And how do you retain people after they graduate with engineering degrees here? How do you keep them in Arizona?
That is a very hard thing. We used to Tucson used to be fantastic. We had a lot more when I graduated from college in the 80s. We had a lot more opportunities in Arizona and Tucson than we do now. Raytheon is the big place for engineering and science right now, and Raytheon, they don't get a lot of support from our state, so that is disturbing to me. So I think that's hard. The answer is the way you do that is you attract new businesses here, grow more jobs, so our students have more opportunities. You have to bring business in. It doesn't happen without work. Okay.
To steal one of Will's favorite questions, you want to represent a border district. What's your opinion on the war on drugs?
The war on drugs, I get scared with my kids. They're going to go to college. My son is only 2 years away. That frightens me on the drug flow, but it also frightens me on alcohol. I remember college days. Alcohol is a very frightening drug too. I tend to think that we can spend more money on education and educating our kids about the dangers of drugs, and it may dent our use of drugs more than what we're doing now. But right now, we're spending a lot of money that probably isn't reducing the flow of drugs. I think education, we have to add on education to that. Start helping our kids learn.
So could you clarify your position then on the reformation of drug laws? Right now,
I'm more interested in educating our kids so they understand what drugs will do to them, the dangers of drugs. I believe that will cut the use of drugs. So that's where I stand right now.
Great. I think we're done. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.